Hello, today we're going to be having a review on the area of a rectangle. So when you have an area of anything that you want to measure, we're talking about counting something on the flat surface of any object. In this case, for area, we need to be using squares because all of the sides are equal and there's no leftover space in between the shapes. So what we could do is just count each and every one of these squares, and that would give us the answer. But over time, people looked at it and they said, well, I notice something happens every time I'm counting. If I count the number of squares just along the base, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to label my base 10. And I can look at just the numbers on my height right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you were to count every one of these squares, you would come up with the number 50. You could do it by skip counting by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That's faster than counting each individual square. You could also skip count by the vertical ones. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. You get the same answer. But people realized it was much, much faster to multiply the base times the height. 10 times 5 is 50. And this is the formula for the area of any rectangle at all. Area equals base times height. Work that you can do on your own with this is you can draw and label rectangles of your own. You can also measure rectangles in your house and record the formula. We always give it a title. Area of rectangle, and my name, of course. To draw rectangles of any size that you want, you only need your pencil and a straight edge of some sort in your paper. Start off and place your dot on the vertex, the point where all of these meet. I'll make that nice and dark. And then let's say I want to make my base 7. So I have to count 7 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'll make my height 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I can see I just need to fill in right there. And using my straight edge every time, give it a nice straight line to connect your dots. Now, we can remember that my formula for area of a rectangle, A equals base times height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Always rewrite your formula and then substitute the numbers. So instead of the letter B for base, I'll put the number that's my base, which is 7. And instead of the letter H for my height, I'll put the number underneath of it, which is 3. Area equals, now I know that 7 times 3 is 21, and it's 21 squares. And I circle my answer. You may ask, why do I have to write these every single time when I can just look up or remember that 7 times 3 is 21? And the reason for that is, one, it helps you memorize the formula. Every time you write it, you'll just remember it better and better. The other part is if you were to make a mistake and accidentally write 12 instead of 21, I would know that you knew what to do, but maybe you wrote it backwards, or maybe you were just off by a number. So this is a really great way to learn from mistakes also, if you write down each and every step. Something else you can do once you feel like you're very good at this is you can put several rectangles together into just one drawing and figure out the area of that. So let's just say I want to do something a little bit silly and do a shape like this. I will connect my dots. Some kids like to draw different pictures out of different squares and rectangles and then tell me what all of the area equals up to. You could make a robot or a castle, any figure that you like. That's these shapes. So here it is. Now, I can't just multiply a base times a height here because I have different base lengths and different height lengths. So what you can do is I could pretend that maybe this is what I want. You can see that my base here is 1, 2, 3, 4. My height here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that kind of goes right here. And then over here, my height is 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what I would do is find the area here, always writing my formula. My base is 4, my height is 5. The area here is 20 squares. And then over here, I do the exact same thing. But I'm not finished yet, am I? I now need to add 20 plus 18. That will give me the total area. 20 plus 18. 8 plus 0 is 8. 2 plus 1 is 3. All of this equals 38. Whoops, I made a mistake. 38 squares. And I'll put my A in here. So you can work on these, and then when you feel like you're good at it and you're ready for a challenge, you can make different shapes, adding up the different rectangles. And this is how you do the area of a rectangle.